Hey everyone, how are you doing today? Another week in AI, perhaps not as crazy as the couple of weeks before that, but then, the bar that AI has set is so high that even when two or three earth-shaking things happen, we think that, nothing much has happened last week. Well, for people in India, the big news was that Sam Altman was in India, and he, unlike last time, was gushing and said great things about the country and how it was going to be very big in AI. If you remember the last time, which was about a year back, that he had come, he had kind of strongly advised India and Indian industry not to build foundational models and let that be done by people like OpenAI, Google, etc. It seemed it created quite a furor, but it seems he has changed his mind and probably something called DeepSeek, which came out of China, made him change his mind. So this time he was advocating a full stack approach that we should be building. India should be building chips, and then India should be building its own foundation model. Surprise, surprise, and then applications on top. Uh, the fact that he was eating his own words didn't come as much of a surprise because if you look at the numbers both for ChatGPT as well as for DeepSeek, and I'm sure for a few other models, the number Indians, the people, maximum number of people using these models are from India. You can find more stuff about Sam Altman's India visit in the links below. But my view, frankly, is that while we should look at our own foundation models, which are focused on Indian context, Indian specific use cases, Indian environment, maybe on the chips part, because it's good to be self-reliant. Probably we can't make the kind of chips that TSMC makes, but one of the things that DeepSeek taught us was that you can build foundation models even on older chips, and maybe we should look at those kind of GPUs or chips. But I still think that the focus that India should have should be on the application space, the top of the stack. That's where the action is. That's where innovation is going to be. That's where our strengths lie. Our startup system, our startup ecosystem is great in that. And that is the actual connect to the customer. GPT is not important if you're a consumer or a customer. It's Chat GPT, which is an app on top of the GPT foundation model, which is really what we see and which is what gets used and which is what gets most of the revenue, at least today, for OpenAI. Um, well, the other interesting thing, number two, that happened was that Google very quietly released its Gemini Flash 2. Now, this quiet releases by Google are unnerving me. Google somehow seems to not announce or proclaim or drum up their models the way some of the others do. Uh, and maybe it's deliberate, maybe it's a lack of confidence, I don't know. But it released that model, and from everything that I hear, it's a superb model. But at the same time, the interesting thing is that OpenAI released ChatGPT Search. Now, they have released Search earlier, but the big tweak that they did was that ChatGPT Search was freely available like a Google bar. You don't need to register, you don't need to be a customer. You just use Chat Search the same way as you use Google Search. And so, weirdly, here's OpenAI entering Google territory with open ChatGPT Search, and here's Google entering OpenAI territory with the thinking models and the reasoning models, of which Flash 2 is one. And so this battle is getting more and more interesting. Again, personally, I believe it's it's much bigger than all of this. I believe that the internet or the web so far was organized around search, and that's why Google became the big 800-pound gorilla of the internet. We saw the internet through search. We entered it through search, not through portals like Yahoo or MSN or whatever. I think that the internet is now going to be organized, going further, organized around generative AI, around AI. And we'll be entering the internet and whatever we do with it, or the web, through these chat models. And therefore, in many ways, the monopoly that Google has had on search is a bit under threat, even if Google produces amazing models, which I'm sure it will, amazing generative AI models. The cost of serving a generative AI model is between 4x to 8x the cost of serving a query versus Google search. And so the amazing cocaine like profit margins that Google had in search, might not remain the same with as search moves to chat, and the internet and the World Wide Web is structured around chat. More on this again in a couple of links which are there below. What else? Well, the anti-DeepSeek backlash has begun in many ways. One is, Jared Kushner, for example, expressing, and many others expressing doubts that, that the models cost as less as they did. And now it seems more and more evidence seems to be emerging that, there were actually multiple thousand GPUs working in the background to train the model, and all that the $6 million did or the $5 million did was to fine tune it, which is the DeepSeek R1 model. And therefore, the DeepSeek moment of AI, this DeepSeek disruption, this DeepSeek change of narrative in AI isn't really what it was. You can see the link below. And other ways that the anti-DeepSeek reactions are happening. The U.S. Navy has banned using DeepSeek. NASA banned using DeepSeek. Some Indian government departments are also banning using DeepSeek. So we're seeing like a TikTok-like thing happening where, there's this fear that the data will get stolen, get into China, etc., etc. And so all these bans are happening. Meanwhile, the rash of models coming out of China continues. Alibaba just released what they call a DeepSeek killer, and a few others are out there in line calling themselves DeepSeek killers. And so now what DeepSeek did to the big foundation models like GPT, I think others are doing to DeepSeek. So this was what I wanted to share with you, the top three big things. Sam Altman's visit to India and its implications. To me, the most important thing of how search is kind of probably moving from, the search bar to chat, and how the web and the internet will be organized around it. And then third is the DeepSeek moment, or the lack of it, and the DeepSeek reactions against DeepSeek and the competitors to DeepSeek that have started coming in. More next week. I'm sure we'll have plenty of action next week also. Until then, do tell me what your reactions to all of this, and how you would like more of this stuff every week. Thank you.